Hey ladies, this is Underwired. Welcome to the show designed to uplift and support women all over the world.
Hey, I'm Lindsay. They call me the kindness kahuna and the imaginal connector. I love puppies, travel, great coffee, and all of you out there who love humanity.
I'm Betsy Wiersma, a serial entrepreneur and lover of doing good and having fun. My passion is connecting hearts and souls with art, ideas, and adventures.
Hey, I'm Shay Sparks. As an energetic catalyst and fearless communicator, I love to have great conversations with amazing people.
And I'm Sunny, mom of four, here to shed light on what really matters. Together, we're Underwired. And now for the show.
Hey, everybody. This is Lindsay. Welcome to Underwired. We are here today. I'm with my friends, Betsy, Shay, and Sunny. And we are going to have a really great day today. I'm super excited about our show. I want to kick it off by just saying, what's your word of the day, ladies? What are you? What are you feeling? What's your sassy? Mine's sassy. I just had to go with sassy today. I'm feeling kind of full of life and energy, but also like, I kind of want to get outside the box. I want to start talking about things that are a little, out there. So I've got sass. Betsy,
Okay,
how about you?
sassy. I love this format because I always feel like the Brady Bunch. I always wanted to be Marsha Brady. Let's see, my word is go. Here we are, beginning of the year. It's an exciting time for everything, and I'm just going to go with go.
Nice. Love it. Sunny.
Mine is anticipation. I feel like we, and not just this group, but we as humanity, I feel like we're on the verge of a breakthrough. I really do. I feel a lot of like, whereas normally I'd feel maybe a little heavy when I wake up, like, just energetic wise, I feel like a lot of things have been lifted and almost like anything is possible. And I just think there's so much beauty in that. And I think we're going places really just, yes, the four of us, this show, but it's bigger than that. And I just can't wait to see what happens.
Nice. Super deluxe. Shay.
I love that, Sunny. Thank you. Because you're just kicked off what my word is excited. So I'm kind of on that same path. I feel like there's something in the air, if you will, of the collective that has really drawn this excitement to really unfold what's next for us as a humanity. So yeah, I'm excited.
Cool.
Woo-hoo, we got a lot of positivity going on
We're
here.
going to go excited, anticipated with sass. Here we go.
There we go.
So I am going to turn it over to my dear friend Betsy, and she's going to kick off segment 1. You go, girl, with the B word of the day.
Okay, well, we have 3 segments in this show. This is new show, so we got to train you up on how to listen and see us. So we have 3 shows, B, R, and A. Go figure. A show called Underwired.
I wonder what that spells.
That is brilliant. That is like so deep how we figured that out. And I'm going to take the B word, and this time I'm going to talk about bravery. B, well, I'm Betsy, so B for Betsy, but bravery. And I want to tell a really kind of raw personal story. So for the last 17 years of my life, I've identified as mother of the Camp Experience Network. That is what my job was. I created a network. I served 5,000 women. We raised $1 million, and I almost died. Truly.
Wow.
I literally organized 60 events a year with no staff, a couple volunteers, a social media manager, a person that helped me collect the bills. But it was me, all me, carrying the energy, carrying the volume, carrying the vision, plus doing all the work, making the name tag, right? Like I was chief cook, bottle washer, janitor, and I financed most of it, right? So when someone asked me, "Hi, Betsy, who are you?" I would say, mother of the Camp Experience Network. That was my identity. And in the last 2 years, I have transitioned to founder of the Camp Experience Network. So it is a new game because I have let go, keywords here, bravery, let go of my entire identity for 18 years of my existence to be a founder, a different role, and to take on something brand new. So my bravery example is, it has been raw. It has been a lot of tears. It is a lot of angst. I still want to micromanage the process, dive back in and say this is how I did it, but I can't. Because if I want to choose to be the founder, I need to have a different role than being if I want to choose to be just the founder and not the manager, I got to have a different role. So I wanted to ask you ladies, where have you jumped and waited for the net to appear? Right? Where have you been brave and just dove into something new? I'm going to start with you, Shay, because I kind of know a little backstory about Shay, and I know you are a serial entrepreneur. You've done so many fabulous things, but give everyone an example of bravery.
Well, just, in this year in the year of 2022, I'll say the bravest thing I've ever done was kind of do the same thing you did. I released the identity of being a hairstylist and a salon owner and stepped into kind of retirement stage of life and moved across the country to Florida and started a whole new life focusing on podcasting and my coaching business and all those wonderful things and just meeting amazing human beings like yourself. So I did not have a net other than a safe place to stay and just making it up as I go along. So yeah, I think there's definitely some bravery that I feel on a daily existence, just, doing the things that I do because
Right.
it's all new. So I love it. Thank you for
Yeah.
asking.
And again, this goes back to the purpose of this whole show, to uplift, right? Uplift. And I think so many of us sit in our world saying, I'm the only one that's so scared. And I think 99% of all of us are probably really scared, and we're, pedaling as fast as we can. So, Lindsay, what is your bravery example?
Oh man, I have too many. I don't even know where to begin. But, I too moved across the country without a net and just kept going. It was like, wow, what am I doing? And I'm in this podcasting world. And what am I doing? It's crazy. It's so good how many times I've been willing to reach for the trapeze that isn't there, just fly through the air and just it appears. And it really is true. I think one of the things I wanted to just share that I think is also brave, and a lot of people don't think of it this way, is forgiveness. And I have been practicing championship forgiveness of people who have betrayed me, forgiving myself for moving all the way across the country from my children, forgiving myself for not being what I thought I should be at this point in my life. And it's like, well, whatever, that's not what you need to be. I'm allowing the surrender to God's will instead of my own, and it takes a lot of bravery to just say, yeah, trust that.
Whoa.
And to women who are out there thinking, "Ooh, I got to trust in that whole bigger plan for me thing." Woo! I'll just tell you, you got 4 sisters here at this podcast that all know from experience it is glorious on the other side of going through that fear. But forgiveness takes some powerful bravery.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And I also want to call you out for bravery that I've seen, because when your mom passed away, you stepped into a new role with your dad. And, that wasn't about me and my time and my life. You said, I am dedicated to the life that I get to share with my dad. You took a national road trip and podcast tour, a kindness tour. You are helping him, thrive. And I think it's super brave to put yourself behind your dad and your experiences with your dad. And I think many, many of us have aging parents and can really relate to what it takes to all of a sudden turn into the parent when we're responsible for them, and how freaky that is. So, Linz, I want to give you a high round of applause for your bravery and your kindness to your dad. So that's a love. That's a love thing for you.
Absolutely.
Thank
okay,
you.
Sonny.
Sonny,
You're bringing home the B. You're bringing home the bravery.
Bring home the brave.
Well, like all of you, I regularly leave my net at home. I feel like most of my life has been, let's just try this. No one succeeded at that. Well, I'll be the first. I've always felt like a little differently. I've always behaved a little differently than most people, where most people would be like, there's no way. Why would you even try that? I could give you countless examples when I look back on my life. More recently, I think the biggest form of bravery I've had, and this has happened in the last couple of years, is a spiritual awakening that I had. And it totally went against everything I was raised with, right? And I had to kind of I call it climbing the ranks. That's probably not the right term, but like with the religion I was raised with, I was seeking God, and I was like, I just want to have more and more God. And I thought I had to go through certain ranks to do that and do certain things. And then one day God just woke me up, and it's been kind of a lonely journey because not everyone is awakened to certain things. There's some of our audience is going to get this, and some of our audience is not going to get this.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
But in my own life, my husband isn't awakened to a lot of things in the world. So I have a different pair of eyes than most people. And I feel like God has been training me for this. Like, just certain things in my life, I've always been like, I'm a little bit of a loner. And I was like, God, why is this the case? But I feel like it's prepared me for this moment to be able to handle this and to help others as they start to awaken. So to me, that's been really brave, because I had to step away from, not my faith, but my religion. I had to kind of step away from that a little bit and go, God, where are you? You're not there. Where can I find you? And then, like you guys, just put my faith in him, and move forward. So that's a huge.
Well, I'm giving you a hallelujah on that one, because I just think it kind of fits with the theme right there.
Yes.
All right. Well, that was our B. We started with Brave, and actually get to kick it over to Sunny for the R. Sunny, take it over.
Okay, so my R is going to stand for real today. And I don't want this to come off as complaining, but I want to be really real with how I feel about some things that kind of have impacted my life recently. So I want to talk a little bit about healing and how we look at medicine and, our options out there. That's a huge topic, I know. And I'm sure we're going to talk about this throughout this show and in different ways. I want to share a little story with you guys, and hopefully this won't anchor too many people, but this is my personal experience. I'm just kind of sharing from my heart today, keeping it real. One of my best friends, we have been friends ever since childhood. There's a group of us. We grew up together. We slept over at people's houses. We did all this fun stuff together. She recently passed, and she's my age, so I'm 44. She left behind a couple kids, and it's because the treatment that she got in the hospital, she got sick really quickly. They blamed it on COVID, and she was treated a certain way and went downhill, and they just kind of were like, we don't know what happened. They put her on a ventilator, did all this kind of stuff. She was paralyzed from the neck down for multiple months. And then she just said, I just can't do this anymore, which you can't blame her. Right. And I mean, it was really horrible to see my friend go through that.
Yeah.
So, I look at all of this and I go, something's wrong here. Okay. And one of the things that I'm personally doing to try to find answers is to look outside of what, again, this kind of goes with my spiritual awakening. It's like, this is how I thought life was. And now I'm learning there's all these other opportunities that, quite frankly, we've been denied, that we forgot, that things got lost. And I'm doing a course right now on energetic healing, because I really want to get more in tune with my spiritual body. And, we treat these things as very separate things, like, oh, this is me. And then, the spiritual stuff is separate, but really, we're human. And then we've got a spirit inside of us. And so it's really all the same thing. And I'm just now starting to learn about energetic healing. I'm practicing on my kids and my dog, because my dog really needs it. Her energy is through the roof. So I'm a newbie at this, and I'm sure I'm going to share more of this as my journey continues. But I would love to ask you guys, have you dabbled outside of what is more mainstream medicine? And what has your experience been?
Ooh, fun.
Oh, yeah.
Heavy.
Well,
it's heavy, isn't it?
No. In fact,
today,
quite the
girls.
opposite. I'm sitting here going, Sunny, we don't have enough time for me to share the experiences.
This
that
is
I've
the
been
extended
through.
version of Underwired.
Like,
called
where do
Deep
I
Dive.
begin? Because
We're going to
I
deep
do
dive that.
I do energy coaching and have done so for almost 25 years. So yeah, I see energy a lot differently than many people do. So I'm just going to dive in because I think one of the things that I will share that I thought I would never do because it flew in the face of everything that I also was brought up to believe was accurate, true, or real, right? I just want to share this one example. I have done now 2 ayahuasca journeys with shamans in different locations. And OMG, all I can say is it was some of the best healing and opening I could have ever gleaned. And if I'd stayed close to that, I would not have been able to do other things that I've been able to do in my life. And so what you were talking about there is opening your mind and your heart to things that are here for us, that we are told for different crazy reasons. Don't do that. That's woo-woo. That's weird. Why would you do that? That's drugs. What? You hallucinogenic drug? What? No, it has nothing to do with that. It is so sacred and so powerful and so here for us that I think what you're speaking into is if you're at all curious about something that your religion or your family unit or whatever a singular person tells you is cuckoo bananas, I would invite you to go look further. Yeah. Because you were called to it for some reason and it's calling back to you. So I love that you are doing energy healing work, and we can talk about that all day on another episode. And I'm just going to pass it on over to Shay now because I know that she's probably going to say the same thing that I would say.
Well, yes, we could totally talk about this for probably days, actually. And another R word that comes to mind is Reiki, and I am certified in Reiki. And so I love that when I hear other people who are diving into the energetic healing. So, and I love that you mentioned before about religion, because I was always under the understanding as a young child growing up in church that we had the same gifts that Jesus had. So if Jesus was a healer, why can't we? And then the way I was trained in Reiki was literally, you are the vessel for God to work through you. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's not about the actual healer. It's about just being a vessel, to being a container to be his powers to work through you. Yeah, you got
I
chills,
just got goosebumps
right?
when you were talking. I'm like,
well, it's funny because I am not I'm not a Bible versey person. However, sometimes I am inspired to go to the Bible to look up things. And today, of all things, the verse of the day was certain text. And I happened to go in the context of it earlier verse. And this is what showed up to me. And you're going to love it because it literally falls right in the line. It says, heal the sick. Bring the dead back to life, heal the people who have leprosy, and force demons out of people. I give you these powers freely, so help others freely. And that was in Matthew 10:8.
Nice.
Woo! And mind you, he was talking to the disciples, but how do we know we are not? Because I totally believe that when Jesus was in the upper room and you can look this up in Acts, and he goes into the disciples and he breathes the breath of fire of the Holy Spirit onto people, and they accepted it. They had these gifts and these tools to be able to heal. So, side note, so do we.
Yeah, we do.
I believe that.
We do.
So I love that you're doing this. I can't wait to dive in more about this with you.
Wow, I think we're going to have a spin-off show. Well, just to lighten it up, I don't take normal aspirin. So like on the opposite side from healing under a tent with a shaman, for those of you who are thinking like, okay, this is really weird. So I don't take regular aspirin, so you can do that too. So my best friend is named Jerry Keir, and I just go away for weekends with her of healing. And she taught us that every disease is not something that comes on just in a moment's notice. It has been something you have gotten because of choices in your life for a long period of time. So her entire gig is prevention. And lots of it is body movement and drinking water and getting good nutrients and getting greens and getting your, all the good chemicals for your body from food. So I would say in this same way, I'm going to tell a very personal story, but it's very funny. And if you're either going to love this or not, but I got shingles in a very interesting place. And it starts with a V in it, and it rhymes with vagina. And I got shingles, and they went from my back of my left side, my bottom, and they started going down the medium, which they do if you don't know about shingles. And then I called my friend Jerry, and I went to traditional medicine. Traditional medicine doped me up with a bunch of steroids. I went to my only first depression, deep, dark dive, laid in my bed and cried for a week. They said, keep it cold and dry. I was in a wedding and on a cruise ship with keep it cold and dry in my rhyming with mangina, and the shingles, which is a horrific virus. But Jerry came to the rescue with all the holistic, all the Eastern medicine, all the voodoo. And in 3 weeks, it was under control. And in 5 weeks, it was gone. And sometimes shingles can last 6 months. So I got to say that although I followed traditional medicine to get started because I was freaked out and didn't know what to do, I ran in with Eastern medicine and healing, and I did Reiki, I did acupuncture, I did it all, and I was able to stop the shingles virus. So amen, Sunny. And I'm sorry I told something that might be a word not allowed to be said on podcast, but I just did a rhyming word. But
we
don't
feel
get
so
it.
close to you now, Betsy.
Don't get it. Don't get it. I took it for the team to get it there. I took it for
We
like
all
all
have
women.
one. We all have one. We're
And you
good.
don't want shingles in there. So there's another backstory. We'll talk about that on Podcast Plus. Underwired,
Underwired plus. Okay, got
Okay,
it.
I think we did a nice job on R today.
I think
Yeah,
R
we
was
did.
very real. Yeah, thank
Very
you.
real.
Sure.
Okay. And I think it's Shay's turn now. She's got our A word, right, Shay?
Yes, and I am so excited to talk about this A word because of my own story. But one of the things that Betsy said a couple of weeks ago in another episode was about A for action, and what is the action of meditation? And I'm going to take it a little bit further and say action of affirmation.
Love.
Yes.
Love
so
affirmation.
Affirmations
Nice.
have been really, really powerful to me over my years, and especially during my healing journey. And I saw this blurb in a magazine, and it was literally just a small paragraph in this huge magazine, but it changed my life. It said, instead of setting goals, it said, what if you use the words I am in front of your goal as if you've already achieved it? And I started to do that, and my whole mindset shifted, because what ends up happening when you start to do this, your neural pathways in your brain, I'm getting a little nerdy here, the neural pathways in your brain start reacting, and they start making decisions as if it literally has already happened. So I love affirmations from that standpoint. Now I'm going to go another further with another A word and call it attachment. So what if you were able to set these affirmations like, I am a podcaster, or I am a, I don't know, a pageant winner. I don't know. So whatever you want to be, right? Whatever goal that you have in mind, or I am a mom, right? What if you looked at writing these affirmations so it was like ingrained in your system, and you did it from a place of freedom, and that you had no attachment to it? So when we attach things, when we attach emotions to our affirmations, our goals, what ends up happening is then we expect an outcome. We expect a time frame. And then that is when the expectations actually hinder us, not help us. So the going about having an affirmation without attachment is actually so freeing that it can continue. It can be 90 years old and you're saying, I'm a mom, right? Now, maybe your mom by definition isn't going to look the same as it did when you were 30, but I guarantee you're probably a mom to lots of people and lots of things. even if you're not a biological mom.
Yep.
So I love to start off with every day as an affirmation as I am willing to practice something. So there's where the action comes in.
Ooh.
So I'm going to ask, so like for an example, I will say my word for today is that I am willing to practice being kind to myself.
Very good. That's a good
Yes.
practice for all of us.
Right. So Lindsay, since you're talking, I'm going to jump it to you. What would be a good affirmation for you to start off with the I am willing to practice?
I am willing to practice being open to dating.
Ooh.
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 And
You're
that
not
is,
open to it? Are you not open to it now?
up until last week, I wasn't.
Ah.
I mean,
And
Shay and I have had some
I
really
was
good
say-
conversations about this, and I just wasn't. It was not in my.
Mhm.
It was like, that's a nice idea, but no. And now I'm like, ooh, I'm willing to practice being a dater. What is
Oh,
that?
there you go.
I don't even
Yeah.
know what that is, right? Like,
Right.
okay. So this is all new for me after so many years of being in relationship. So yeah.
Well, I love that. And that's a whole nother story we could go down about practicing dating, but because
Exactly. And
that's
you're
we'll
gonna
talk
lead
about
the
that a
class
lot.
on this
oh
one,
yeah,
Shay.
that's a yeah. Yeah, I could take a
Relationship.
class on that. Yes, absolutely. With all the
Yeah.
dating sites and
Shay is
all
my
the things.
personal coach on Tinder
I
and
know.
Yes.
Bumble.
Tinder and Bumble and all the things. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
So Sunny, what would that's a great one, Lindsay. So Sunny, what would be one that you would be willing to practice?
I am willing to practice loving my body
Ooh,
because
yeah.
I'm a mom of 4, right? They all came out. Well, I was going to say they all came out at different times. That's not exactly right. I had 2 that came out at the same time. So my body has been through hell and back, right?
Mm.
yeah.
And for several years now, I have been, I mean, it's funny because I'm on camera right now and I am fine if like you record me from here up, but
She's pointing
anything
to her
below,
waistline.
yeah, anything below, I'm ashamed of, right?
Mm.
I just, when I catch myself in the mirror, when I see a picture, like my kids love to take pictures all the time. And I'm like, whoa, like I don't even want people to take pictures of me, which sounds crazy given, again, I'm on camera right now, but I feel like I'm fine here. I got the camera positioned at an angle that I'm okay with, but I haven't loved my body in a really long time. And
Mm.
I'm trying to do some things now where this is not a weight loss conversation, you guys. This is
Right.
about my body looks totally different than it did before kids. Some
Mhm.
things I am not going to be able to change about it without surgery. Okay.
Right.
But it's looking at my body from a different perspective and saying, it's coming at it from a positive point of view as
Mm.
opposed to why doesn't it look like this person or that person has 4 kids too. Why didn't my body bounce back like that person did?
Mm.
Right. And it's more about recognizing how powerful our bodies are. So this ties in with the conversation we had about being able to heal and do these things.
Yes.
So not only was I able to procreate little humans in a very short period of time, but my body continues to nourish me and to get me through the day and allow me to do some really cool things in life. So I'm trying to look at it from a different perspective and look at it from, just being, a fantastic part of me. It doesn't have to look a certain way. I still want to make some changes, right? I still want to eat a little better. I want to have more energy and I'm working on some of those, but it's still amazing no matter what. And I think we all need to respect our bodies a little bit more.
I love that. And I think that's part of all of our healing journey, right? Is to step into loving our body more, because especially as women, we know exactly the button to push on how we can hate our body the most.
Absolutely.
And then compare to other people. So I love that you're stepping into how can I love my body more? So Betsy, I'm going to throw it to you. What's your affirmation? What are you willing to practice?
Well, gosh, first I'm calling out Sunny, who's 44, and I said it's 61, and I was just doing the math. I'm like, can I have those 15 years back? I want to be Sunny. And like, but I think I'm going to go off that same thing. I'm willing to practice accepting my new way of eating and exercising, because I've been experimenting with this since I was born. I've always had this thing, you could be different. And I changed it in 2022 by saying, I want to make this body vibrant and healthy to do all the fun things and the cool things to serve this big God, including hang out with you guys. And so once I shifted from dieting and shaming and all the crap that we all do to, wow, I found a way to eat that changes the amount of weight, releases the amount of weight. And, I've lost 20 pounds in 2022, which for me is life changing. If you pick up a 5-pound thing of sugar or flour and walk around and go, I had 4 of those on a 5'4" frame. And so but it's a really mental thing, because my mental says, oh yeah, but everybody gains it back and all the shit that's in your head. So I'm willing to practice accepting that God has empowered me to be healthy at any weight, at any age, and with a good upward camera angle to get rid of the chins. I think there's hope. And so I just am really doing it that to serve God the best, I need to serve me and my body. So I'm willing to practice changing the way I think about weight release, and also the emotional and other physical things that had to happen to let that go. So
wow.
Hallelujah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And that's a whole nother topic, right? Like,
man, we got some spin-off deep dive shows
have some
coming up.
major stuff going on, and I love that you use the word release.
It's
so many
release.
times we talk about, I want to lose weight. No, you want to release it
because
from
you don't want to find it again. So you just want to release it.
You just want to release it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you said you did a great segue to wow. So to kick off our wow section, Women of Wonder, Lindsay, I'm going to throw it back to you.
Thank you so much. And wow, that's a really good segment, I have to say. Just it's very powerful to use those I am statements for everything. It's been a big part of my life for sure. And I want to say too, to all of our listeners, we'd love to hear your powerful I am statements. If you're willing to share them in the comments, give us some high fives and tell us what's your I am. What are you stepping into? Where have you been brave? Where have you been real? And where are you willing to take action? You're probably wearing a bra, or if you're like us, you don't want to. But we
don't need to. Oh, sorry, I digress.
Whichever way. But we want to hear from you. What is it that you're up to these days too? Because we want to comment on that as well. So put some comments in the box below, in the chat box. So, okay. Dun, 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 the Women of Wonder. Wow. I want to share my friend and a person who I met in the most unusual circumstances. And I just want to share a little bit about her. Her name is Char Fontanills. And Char, if you've ever met her, is about 5'1", tiny little person who is just filled with so much love and energy and goodness. And I'm going to tell a little story about her, and then I will share her brief bio so that you can know who she is in the business or professional world. But so Char and I met sitting in 2 different rows at a conference in Portugal. We were at Mind Valley's A-Fest in Faro, Portugal in 2018. And we were in 2 rows of the same conference, and the speaker just happened to say, turn around to the person behind you and talk about something. We don't even know what it was we were talking about. And who was sitting behind me was Char Fontanills. She was there at the conference, not wanting to meet anyone. And the person
sounds like
that
me.
she meets, I know, right? Oh God. And then the person that she meets is Lindsay. And I, make friends with just about everybody I meet. So anyway, we were instant friends. Like it was a powerful connection. And I know we were led there. We were supposed to meet. There was no doubt. And Char had gone through the death of a husband, the nearly death of a business. It was on life support, and her own serious accident. It was a biking accident that made her go through a tremendous amount of pain and surgical changes. But all of that, she was coming out of that, and that's why she was in Portugal, and she was finding herself again. And then she, of course, found me at the same time. And we, and
Bonus.
right. And what
Yes.
happened then was Char really became a powerful force for healing and supporting women who literally are single moms, or who are finding themselves in a world where they may not know how to build a business around their idea or who they are. And what Char's doing is actually giving some women who are in the beauty and supplements industry an opportunity as well. So I'm just going to read because it's easier. And I wish Char was here right now, but she unfortunately could not join us today. But Char is the founder and formulator of Confidence by Char. So that's the name of her company. And she has 30 years of experience in the health and beauty industry. And man, can I just tell you, she looks it. I mean, she walks her talk, and I love her products. They are truly amazing. She's created a professional health grade wellness company with her supplements that are sold in luxury spas and clinics across the United States. It's the only supplement line specifically created to complement a body sculpting service like microcurrent, wood therapy, all that stuff, cryotherapy, LED light therapy. It all works in conjunction with one another. So talk about unique healing modalities. This stuff's pretty cool. And in 2018, that was the year I met her, she helped create an FDA cleared body sculpting device that led her to writing a book about her life story called The Confidence Cure, which I would highly recommend too. So she is a #1 international best-selling author, and she's also the winner of the Skin Games competition, because I swear to God, she has the best skin in the world, but that's not why she was in it. It was more about how she helps others attain really amazing skin and beauty. So she's a speaker, a coach, a transformation trainer, but mostly she loves to lead retreats and help women all across the country. So my woman of wonder is Char Fontanills. And I hope that all of you will get a chance to meet her, and you can check out Confidence by Char. She would love to meet you, especially if you want to be an esthetician, or if you're thinking about doing something in the beauty and healing arenas. So thank you for letting me talk about Char.
I feel like she needs to be on the show to share tips with us and all the audience about ways to beautify ourselves and have confidence. That would be amazing.
She is totally in and 100% behind us, and loves Underwired. She's like our #1 fan. She's also, I think, one of the captains of my kindness team. So she's just a really amazing human, and she will totally join us. We will have her on in future episodes. So stay tuned for more of Char. She's pretty cool. So yeah.
And I love her too. So I'm so glad Lindsay, you introduced me to her. She is just such a joy.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, I think everybody who is listening can see that we are dedicated to uplift all of you and uplift ourselves and have fun, because, that's what you need. You need some sisters by choice to come together, to have deep conversation, to share things that, are human and real and raw and true. And hopefully you've all heard something today that has contributed to your life journey, because that's what we know, that in any moment, something, a paragraph in a magazine, as Shay said, something in the Bible, a person that you meet, that can change everything for good. And we want to be a catalyst to changing everything for good. So Shay, tell them all about our community and how they can follow us, like us, subscribe to us, and get involved.
Absolutely. You can head over to Instagram or Facebook and find us at Underwired.live, I believe is the name of it. And that's our website as well. And coming soon, we will be able to have a page where you can leave us a voice message or leave us a message and ask us questions or interact or tell us what you hated, tell us what you love, tell us, you shouldn't wear that color again, Shay, that doesn't work for you. Whatever you want to say.
Don't comment on Betsy's hair, because with the whole thing, she feels so bad about it. She's got her headphone in. She always knows her hair looks bad. So please don't comment about Betsy's hair. We already know.
But we would love to hear from you on Facebook, social media, but also our pod page as well. So we're excited to be here and can't wait to interact more with you guys, the listeners.
Yeah.
Great. And I just throw in, we are the founders of the Global Sisterhood Podcast Network. So if any of you out there are podcasters, want to be podcasters, we're sponsored by IPN, Sunny's Independent Podcast Network. We would love to adopt you, bring you into our tribe of wonderful, great, uplifting women. You can learn more about that too on our website. Look for the button and find out if you want to just join us as sister friends to take great voices to the world.
Yeah. I am so pleased that you're all here. Thanks, everybody. I think that's a wrap for our show today. And we're going to have even more great and uplifting podcasts coming your way. So please leave us comments, like, and subscribe. We're in it for you at Underwired.
The crowd goes wild. Whoa!
And the micro dog. Bye, everybody.
I just wanna let you